This is a video tribute to my cousin Willie. He passed recently. My cousin Willie was loved by a lot of people, and he was a real, genuine stand up dude. He was also like a childhood friend. Me, him, and my cousin Joe always would hang out when we were younger, and also, like, we were all a year apart. Willie was a year older than me. I was a year older than my cousin Joe. And we all were popping, flipping, and, you know, break dancing when we were kids and stuff. Crazy thing is, it's like, I can't believe how young we were even doing a lot of that stuff. Like, my cousins learned from my uncles, and then my little cousin taught me how to flip. You know, I think he was around 5 actually when he taught me. I don't, you know, I can't believe it. I think I was 6 when I learned. Either he was 5 or 6, or I was 6 and 7. We were young doing this stuff. I can't believe the stuff that we were doing. And Willie is a year older than me. Um, Man. So yeah, it was to the point where both him and my cousin Joe, they started flipping off of gates, vans, and I think even houses at some point. I kind of cut it with the van thing, man. Like, I did the gate thing, but when the gates got higher, that's when I was like, I'm cool. Just dirt devils, man. Like dirt angels. I'll just say that. I don't want to call my people any devils. This is us at Magic Mountain. I think this is around 85. I think around 85. That's me over there making the crazy faces, of course. Even making them back then. And my cousin Willie was the shorter brother with the skull hat on, and that's my uncle Chris with the skull hat on. Um, and yeah, my uncle always seemed, he was like the youngest of my mom's family, so he always seemed like a cousin because we were kind of close in age. He was 5 years older than me, 4 years older than Will, and like they would always be cracking me up with this character that I think they both made it up, called the Soul. It's like some kind of scary ghost type character. I wish I had the picture that my uncle drew. My uncle Chris was the one who got me to start drawing when I used to draw back in the day, because he was a great artist, man. He was such a great artist. He also, a lot of people don't know that, and maybe I shouldn't say it, but I'm gonna say it. He ghost wrote for some prominent rappers, like even Trey D, who he was good friends with as well. Um, Unfortunately, my uncle Chris passed in 2000. Um, and he was a great, talented person. Really cool person as well. Always had me cracking up. So him and Will would always talk about the soul and start dying laughing, man. We'd all be cracking up, man, like all the time. Yeah, man. And then it's funny, like I remember there was a reggae song. I think some people say it was Eka Mouse, but I don't know. But we used to laugh at it all the time. It's called Zigazoo Zing, yeah. We were just like rolling, like, what the heck? And another one called Brain Damage, that were, you got brain damage. This is when K Rock used to play, like, they used to have a reggae show. My dad, may he rest in peace, used to also have us all on outings. We'd go to Bosa Chica Beach back in the day, and then he'd be playing that stuff, and we'd be cracking up in the back of the van, with those songs and stuff. We thought it was the funniest thing. Yeah, man, that summer was pretty cool. And those are my other baby cousins in the pic, and my sister is hiding behind the Magic Mountain balloon. My cousin Will and I also went to the same junior high school. It was Bancroft Junior High back in the late 80s. Um, you know, it was cool that like, no matter what, my cousin always showed love. He never like was ashamed of me, even though I was totally nerdy and kind of what people might call a little eccentric back then with the styles that I chose to wear. Even up to high school, when I heard that, like, through a friend of ours, basically told me to look out, told him who I was, And my friend was saying to his friends not to mess with me because my cousin had a rep of not playing with people, and people who knew my cousin knew that he was cool, but if you messed with his family or crossed him, it wasn't good for the person that did that. But he was a great dude, man. Like, he would always, like, I mean, he was like his dad would give you the shirt off of his back, always helping people out. But it was so cool when we went to, it would be like his friends and my little nerdy friends, and both of us are doing backflips on the field grass and stuff like that. We both went to Bancroft, because we were both into flipping. Like, even then, we were doing backflips and stuff, and we saw that Bancroft had like a gymnastics program. My sister and my cousins went there before, so we just thought we should go since they had all this cool opportunities, because we wanted to enhance what we already knew as far as, our neighborhood gymnastics. Like, we learned off the street. So we're just like, we wanted to enhance that. And the class was all right, like, we just kind of did what we did, like, I don't feel like I really learned a lot of stuff. I mean, she had us run, you know, across the field and stuff, but we really wanted to learn some more gymnastics type stuff. And we got in through the image program, which they bussed us from the hood all the way to this affluent area called Lakewood. And yeah, we came from at the time I lived on the west side of Long Beach, so they bussed us from there, from North Long Beach, and parts, I think even parts of the east side of Long Beach. So yeah, all these neighborhood, black and Latino kids coming to Bancroft. I think there's probably a few poor whites on the bus too, but like, we all came over there and did our things. And I only went there for 1 year. That's a whole nother story. But it was cool having, my cousins. I had another cousin that was there as well, as Will. So it was really cool, especially having Will, because we were in the same gymnastics class, because we really wanted to learn and enhance our acrobatic activities. Fun times, man. It was cool. As I said before, I remember meeting up with him and his homies, and my little nerdy comic book friends were all chilling together. We're all just chilling on the grass, doing backflips and stuff. And man, I love my cousin, man. He was cool, So yeah, man. Not only that, Willie and I also had the same orchestra class. It's funny, like, we were talking about this, he was like, man, I used to play violin. I'm like, I know, man, we were in the same class. He's like, yeah, I remember. And like, yeah, my cousin, was playing violin. He had that facial expression, check him out. And yeah, we were just, chilling in the class or whatnot. This was the same year that I actually switched to bass. Because I wanted to play guitar, but they didn't have, as you see, I'm holding my violin like a guitar. That's me right there. In the late 80s, holding my violin like a guitar, not smiling. I really wanted to play the guitar, but they didn't have that. So my dad recommended the bass. The bass was really big, but the orchestra teacher got pissed at me. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna get the hell out of this class, dude. This guy is on one, man. He was new, and then he wanted to switch us up, So wanted to switch. I mean, I'm sorry, wanted us to stay the same. He didn't care for me switching an instrument. I wanted to switch. Sorry about that. So I played a little bit, but I left because I didn't want to deal with him. But it was cool, like, having my cousin in the class with me. It was real cool. This pic was taken at my uncle's birthday party. My uncle had a white party, the first white party I've ever been to, and it was cool that family put it on. And I told my cousin, like, man, we don't really have, like, pictures together, at least, like, in this day and age. So, I had him come aside, like, let's take this selfie. He's all right, man. And so we took this selfie, man. It was, and that same night, I'm trying to remember whether my sister took this picture or Duke Givens. For all of you that don't know who Duke Givens is, Duke Givens put out a calendar, a Long Beach calendar that was very interesting. Um, if you want more details on that calendar, check out a movie called, it's a documentary called the game doesn't change with the players, or the game is still this. Oh man, I can't remember. The game don't change with the players. The players do. So, oh man, I hate when I do that. Oh, I hate when this happens. I think it's the players still remain or something like that. The game don't change with the players. The players change but the game still remains or something like that. Or the game don't change with the players. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. But it's a very interesting documentary, and I think everybody should check it out. I'll put previews of that documentary in my description. Sorry it took me long to, I forgot the title. Shame on me. As I said, my cousin Will was just like his dad. Real stand-up person. Always took up for people that, you know, were 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 less fortunate. Always stuck up for people that were either being bullied or just, you know, having a hard time. And, you know, he helped me with my dad one time when he was over, and you know, it was really hard for me to pick my father up because, you know, I'm not the strongest person, but my cousin helped me with him when my dad needed to go into the hospital. And that was really cool. You know, he cared as much as I did for my father, you know, and like just there's a lot of great stories about my cousin Willie. Like he had a really great heart, very great smile. A lot of people remember him for that, and could crack you up, man. Like seriously, he was really funny in that regard, you know. Um, and shoot, you know, he definitely is gonna be missed, man. The last time I saw him, I was going to see my storage unit before they closed, and I saw him getting out of his work truck, and I thought I would be back for that evening, but I dozed off where I was because I had to work after that too. I didn't think that would be the last time that I would see him, you know. And yeah, man, it's sad. I'm doing this video because, you know, I want to pay tribute to him. I know I could be more articulate. I always feel like I could, but I hope this is a good one for him, you know. He was a great dude to know. Anyone that knew him can tell you that. He had a lot of love, not just from people in my family, but a lot of people that, you know, that were his friends, you know. And like I said, he's the kind of dude that wants the best for everybody. Hard worker, beautiful person, you know. Really cool cat, man. And just, it's sad, you know, that he passed. Rest in peace, young cuz. We miss you, man. Seriously. And thank you for always giving me a hug every time you saw me. Every time, man. Memory eternal. Rest in peace, man. May the Lord rest you.
Because of the Jerry curl, I got a ball here right now. So got this cap on because my grooming standing right now. I need to shave. That's right now. The Jerry curl messed me up. I had a Jerry curl. Jerry curls they were cool. I can't rock them now due to the Jerry curl. I gotta have a ball. But yeah, the Jerry curls were in. I don't know. Some guys are bringing them back to this day. Right.